had to get rid of my kids.
Up your luck. How'd you manage that?
I live right near the beach.
Yeah, I tell you.
Yeah,
that's a good way of doing it. That's a good way of doing it. Which beach are you close at?
Bellambi.
Bellambi. Is that?
Oh yeah, that's down south. It's
down the coast.
Yeah, it's
20 minutes away from where you're playing tonight.
Beautiful. We love the. We're not playing tonight. We wish we were. Is Top Novel and Radio Rejects and the guys playing tonight?
Oh, okay. Dapto, eh?
Yeah, I think so. We're not on that bill. We wish we were.
No. Yeah.
Although it'd be a bit of a hike for us to get down there in time. So Radio Rejects, I think, have had to cancel actually.
Yes, Smith had to go to hospital.
Smith is having some health problems. We've got our bass player joined us from a separate location as well.
Yeah, he's popping up every time he talks. How are you, mate? So bass player, is that JP Vernon?
No, mate. That's a bass player before the last bass player.
Oh God, I've got all the information and it's all wrong.
I think all our information on our Facebook page must need updating, obviously, mate.
I think so, yeah. I did so much research, I thought, I'm going to have it down pat.
Just call him Riffo.
Okay. How are you, Riffo? So,
kids now as well. But now we've got even more people coming in. So yeah, we have to get it.
And Chester before Riffo, after JP. So yeah, I really do need to update that page, mate.
Okay. Hey, Lou Ferrigno, what's that about?
Lou Ferrigno is the first song that when I came back to music in my early 40s, that was the first song I recorded. And the reason for that was it was so important to me. It's about having children and becoming a father, and how what a positive impact that had on my life. And that's
definitely.
And when and anybody who's a parent will understand. And I was trying to think of who could be the physical embodiment of the magnitude of feeling I had for my children. And the first person I thought of, you seemed like you'd be a similar vintage to us. Lou Ferrigno played the Hulk.
The Hulk.
Yeah. That's why. That's why.
CGI. So that's why I chose Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. No, I was thinking, why would you write a song about the Hulk? And but I get what you're saying now. Yeah, that's because I've got 8 kids myself.
Holy Matt! I think they call it slutting for punishment.
Oh, my youngest is 10 and my oldest is 27. So I've only got 3, mate. Thank God. Yeah.
I love a large family. I actually thought I had a large family, having had 4 children, but compared to your 8, it's only a little family.
He's got more than the rest of us. No, together we add up to your 8, mate.
Yeah, between the 3 of us, we've only got 9. I reckon that means that between the 3 of us, we're probably about as much of a man as you are, Matthew.
Rise Up, that is magic, man. That's my clean the house song.
Mate, I always say that's my favourite song of ours.
I love it.
I'll direct you to its author. Darbs wrote that one, and he can sort of tell you about what it's about.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just about how we find ourselves in some pretty dark places sometimes, and I think that's very normal for all people, men, women. It doesn't matter. We all have negative times, and it's just about trying to not let that get the better of you, and find your way back to the good times, pretty much.
Yeah, and with this lockdown too, we've all been through some dark times lately, haven't we? Really.
Very much so, mate. Very much so. I love that song in particular as well, because we have an affiliation with an organisation called Rise Foundation Australia. Its founders, Ben Higgs and Robbie Hardy, are good mates of mine, and good Maroubra guys like ourselves, and they go around delivering mental health first aid speeches around Australia, and are really doing a hell of a lot to normalise talking about mental health issues, and as we are doing right now, and that's an issue that's very important to us as a group. you know.
Oh, excellent! Because it is a very, very big. It's especially teenage. Like I've got 3 teenagers at the moment, and yeah, it's very I don't know how to put it. It's a scary thing as a parent, teenage mental health, you know, and like the peer groups and what they go through in school now is not like what we went through in school. It is not.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys would agree with that.
It is.
Definitely.
It's a whole new world when it comes to bullying and all of that type of stuff because of the social media aspect. You know, if somebody wanted to have a go at you back when we were growing up, they at least said it to your face, and you had the opportunity to headbutt them if you they couldn't hide behind they couldn't hide behind computer screens and that type of thing. Whereas now, everybody grows an extra 4 foot, and especially for the teenagers. And if you're anything like me, Matt, you'd hate for your children to ever plumb a few of the depths mentally that I did in my younger years. And so that's why, as I said, it does become particularly important to you when you do have children to normalise that dialogue and try to make it a place and an atmosphere. As I said, going back 20, 25 years, the last thing on earth you would do, not exclusive to men, but especially if you were a man, would be to want to open up. You'd rather, and that's as is borne out by the suicide rate among men. Yeah. You'd rather die than open up about your mental health issues.
For sure.
Slowly, organisations and there's like Rise Foundation and livin.org and are chipping away at that stigma surrounding surrounding opening up and talking about mental health issues. And if we can do our little bit to contribute that through our music, and that's what we want to do. And at the end of the day, if you can reach somebody with your message, that's more important than getting a few extra Spotify streams or whatever in it, you know? So,
for sure. Definitely.
I've had so many people, because I'm quite vocal when I talk about these things, when I'm introducing songs like Rise Up. We've got a song called It Ain't Weak to Speak that was inspired by livin.org's logo and by a good friend of mine taking their own life. And a lot of people have come up to me and spoken about the fact that that I'd reached them as much with the Between song talking about that type of stuff as we actually did with the music. And, you know, that's so important, and it's really important to us. Yeah,
definitely. No, I totally agree. And Big Radio Records, is that your
that's my brother Michael's. That's my brother Michael's label. Michael Carpenter is is my older brother, and he produces our records, and he in his label Big Radio puts our records out. And we love working for me, and especially me myself. I love doing these things and making these records with my big brother. He takes us.
For sure.
He's got a different sensibility to what we have, and I mean we've all got different sensibilities as well when it comes to music. So what we come up with the 5 of us is really, really very interesting, and really, you know, I often talk about the fact that Michael is the 5th Crapenter, or the 6th Crapenter when we're at full strength. He's the 5th Crapenter at the moment because we're down to a 4-piece at the moment.
No worries. Excellent. I'm just going to go to the bar for 1 second. I'll be 1 second.
That's important. You got to do that. How are you, Richard?
Mate, not bad. It's a cracker day, isn't it?
Because I wasn't 100% sure about if you had something on.
I think I'm done for the day. I've sort of done all the running around I need to. And my lot, except for me and Mags, my lot had done a bloody 20 odd K walk this morning.
Oh, really?
They did like the Malabar headland, and then I think they were having walks along maintenance on the deck, so they end up going to Chloe and back.
I've got to go from here to there. Actually, James is working at the rifle range. It's at the Arvo.
Yeah, okay.
Dodging targets,
dodging bullets,
dodging bullets and whatever else.
So you get
Ninja Turtle.
No danger money. It's like $11 an hour or something. You're getting more at McDonald's, or that'd probably be more dangerous than just a slow death the amount of food you eat.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt, we're just amusing ourselves having a chat.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Influences. I really would like to, yeah. Because your music is, it's not the one sound. It's there's a broad spectrum there. So
like I just touched on then, our band comes from different places as well musically, you know. So and that makes it really, really interesting because my thing is like the late 70s punk rock with the Clash and the Jam and then bringing it into an Australian sort of perspective, bands like Midnight Oil and that does mesh with some of Richard's musical influences. But Richard, if you want to explain to Matt what else you sort of bringing to the table.
So I guess coming in on bass, I've been playing guitar for ages, but I was learning guitar when I was a teenager. It was all Midnight Oil, Aussie Rock, Angels, some of those early 80s Aussie bands in their heyday were very sort of punk. It's very wild sort of shows they put on.
For sure.
That's all. I love to say, Matthew, that Midnight Oil at their best, they had Giffo, and we've got Riffo. So
yeah, true. Yeah, excellent.
And then you got Darbs, who's like just this mild-mannered primary school teacher.
Yeah.
But he'll start talking about his musical influences now, and it's a really interesting mix. Darby?
Look, I'm more. Well, I guess when I was growing up, it was all like 80s thrash metal, you know, Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax, Metallica, you know, that sort of background. But yeah, I mean, I've also always, you know, grew up in a household where we always had Zeppelin and the Angels and I mean, all sorts of stuff, you know, AC/DC, more just straight up sort of rock and roll stuff as well as the 80s sort of thrash metal as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I like everything pretty much.
Yeah, same with me. I'm on a Divinals trip at the moment.
Oh, what an amazing trip to be on, Matthew.
Oh, mate, I think if I don't listen to 2 or 3 songs at night before I go to bed, at the moment I'm listening to Elsie, Boys in Town, and the one she sings with Mark the guitarist. What is it? Sirens.
Oh,
they're my 3 favourite songs at the moment. But yeah, talking about your influences, I was playing one of your songs. I can't remember which one. I think it was "Laugh Until I Cried." Anyway, someone said, "Oh, is this the Buzzcocks?" I said, "No, it's not the Buzzcocks."
Wow. I'm almost speechless with that comparison, Matthew, because I love the Buzzcocks and you know, I love their power pop punk, pop punk sensibility, and that.
Yeah,
about I laughed until I cried, because that was me. I was feeling like, geez, I wish the Ramones could make some more music, but they're not going to make any more music. So I'll try and make a Ramones song and see how I go.
That's what I was it's quite Ramonesy, that song, I reckon.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But
we're not trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to punk rock. Just trying to carry the flame, and if people listen to I laughed until I cried and see that sort of Ramonesy type of influence, I mean, what could be better than that?
Yeah, exactly. No, it was the songs I've heard from you guys so far. I love it. It's great. My missus doesn't like the punk style. She doesn't like that sort of music, but she has actually said that's not bad. That one. That "Laugh Until I Cried."
So she's the yin to your yang, mate. You're the punk rock man, and she's what would your missus be listening to then?
She's not a musical type of person. Like she'll put on like that Tones and I, or anything that's top
It's
40.
on the radio. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
it
bet
shits me.
You're glad you've got your headphones then, so you can stick your cans on and play some Crashing the Crapenters to drown it out.
That's right.
Awesome.
I listen to the music I want to listen to. The kids have got Little Peep on the TV. The missus is listening to top 40, and I have to be the one with the headphones.
Yeah.
Sounds like the definition of a happy, functional household, mate. Everybody off in their own, doing their own little thing.
Well, I'm married to an Indigenous woman, so I've got 8 Indigenous kids, and their type of music's, it's sort of that rappy kind of. Have you heard of Little Peep at all?
Oh no, I probably have. It's probably I've probably been similar to you, Matt. It's come on. My daughter's been playing it because she listens to the same type of thing, much to my chagrin. And I'll put the headphones on, or even go and walk the dog or something. Do anything to escape the household when that's being played too loudly.
Oh yeah. Well, this Little Peep, he went through drug abuse and everything, and I said to my 14-year-old daughter, I said, why do you like this guy and everything he's all about? Why do you? And she turned around and said to me, Dad, you've got 5 Charlie Manson T-shirts. Don't talk to me about what you're
That doesn't answer the question, though. That's a fair question, what you asked, though. I'm always intrigued as well, because I just don't get it. Like, it's just coming from a completely different world that I don't. The beat and like the rapping and stuff. Like, I know it's really talented and skillful, but I just don't like the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. We do appreciate hip hop. One of the projects it's been an idea in my mind for about 5 years, and I've been trying to talk the guys into is starting a cover band called Renegades of Funk, playing punk rock versions of old school hip hop songs. So we do like the funk.
Man.
We don't have an aversion to the funk. It's just that the new school, and I hate to be one of those guys who talks about how things used to be better when we were younger, but things used to be better when we were younger.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Like, I like that sort of hip hop and that sort of rap, like the 80s stuff. But yeah, I just can't get the new stuff.
But funnily enough, we probably are starting to sound like our parents going back 25, 30
years.
I grew up listening to Elvis. I don't know how people can listen to these shit bands like Pearl Jam and Peppers, so it's all very cyclical. It goes around and it comes around.
Doesn't it what? Yeah, I was for most of the 80s I was living in Surrey Hills and going like nearly every night, go see a band like Spit on Your Gravy, Hard-Ons, blah blah blah. Yeah, and I was right into the Australian punk music scene. And
what an amazing time to be of an age. You could be going to shows, and I'm a similar age to you, and I spent a lot of the time probably at a lot of the same gigs that you were at, Matthew.
Probably.
When you look at the scene these days, don't get me wrong, I'm not undermining the scene, because the Sydney underground scene is amazing for what it is. It's just that it doesn't have anywhere near, back in those days, you could go and see bands 4 or 5 nights a week, and not like. And bands that people still talk about 25 years later, like I Spit on Your Grave, and bands like that. And I actually have been noticing a lot of the music that you're sharing on the Aussie punk pages. And I was by the Lime Spiders the other day, and I thought, I'll have to remember to talk to Matthew about the Lime Spiders opened for Iggy Pop on the Instinct tour. And I was only like a teenager. I think it was the first concert I ever went to by myself.
Steve Jones was on guitar.
How lucky was I? The first, I think my brother took me to the Glass Spider when I was like 12 years old, the David Bowie Glass Spider tour. But the first show I actually went to on my own was the Lime Spiders opening up for Iggy Pop. Yeah, and I think Jonesy was on guitar at that stage with.
Yes, he was. Yeah. I went to the show, but it wasn't the Lime Spider. It was the Vampire Lovers were backing him up. But this was on the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
when I saw them, and it was Lime Spiders might have been on the bill. It was a pretty pissed night.
They were certainly on the Sydney bill, because it's something I've never forgotten, and really that was the beginning of my my love and my infatuation for punk rock. As I say, as a little 14-year-old kid, me and my little 14-year-old mates are crushed up against the barrier for the Lime Spiders, and we're going, I've seen that, but it's not that heavy. And then Iggy Pop started, and the crush and the spitting and the sweat and that was just, sort of pretty much shaped my opinion of what punk rock is at its very best.
They didn't have the defense back then, did they? Like, so yeah, when the crowd went crazy, you got crushed. Like, you got actually right against the.
I remember I had severe internal bruising of my little 14-year-old pigeon chest for about a week and a half. And I wore it with pride.
What about the mosh?
Definitely.
Well, the mosh back then, you used to get thrown around. Like, actually, was like, you'd be standing in one place, and then everyone would go berserk, and next thing you know, you'd be like 10 meters like somewhere else, like the opposite direction or something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But the gobbing, like the amount of people spitting over my head to spit at Iggy Pop, and Iggy Pop spitting back at him, and it was just like, this is what it feels like to be alive,
Yeah.
I still feel that way when I'm spitting on my audience 30 odd years later.
I remember seeing NoFX, 21 years ago, and someone spat on Mike, and he turned around and goes, "Hey, we're not that fucking punk. Come on,
I mean, really.
That was a thing, though. You remember, like in the 90s, there was actually a thing where, you remember, like Alice in Chains came out and they got spat on by everybody, and
body fluids went everywhere.
Aussie crowds used to spit on these people there. Like,
pretty grotty,
like famous people or something. They had the thing against like these famous bands, and they'd spit on them when they came play.
Yeah, that all stems back. I mean, that's the very first wave of punk in 1977 in England, and the performers, if you know anything about the Clash, they hated that then. So the fact that it continued for all that time after, I don't know, I can't make much sense of it. But
they were the first punk band I ever got into, the Clash.
Oh, they're my all-time favourites. No?
Yeah, great. I actually got. You go.
No, I know. 2 years ago, we played a Halloween show, and we got to play a set of Clash covers down at down your way at the Servo. The show that Smith put on, and as I said, it was a dream come true for me to play a set of Clash covers, and we were hoping that, and it was very easy for me because I knew the guys in my band who aren't massive Clash fans had to learn about 10 or 11 Clash songs in. What did I give you, 2 months or something?
No, it was
a couple of months. Yeah, it was.
I think we knew.
We
all knew a couple. But yeah, there was some little selections there that we didn't know or whatever. But
I had some very positive from one of the guys who I have the utmost respect. DD from Top Noble said how much we nailed that set, and when he said that, I knew we must have done okay.
Wow, yeah.
I knew we must have done justice to some of the greatest songs of all time, and that was enough for me.
It was a dress up. It was like a Halloween thing or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was. Village people we were.
So I had the idea. I had the idea to go as a village, and I've got some really, really good footage from that show, shot by Shay Fox from Buxton to Share It.
The outfit came up to like just above his belly button.
It
looked a bit.
it was a child's outfit. So.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the Clash song. It's my favourite song of all time. I know the lyrics.
White man in Hammersmith, LA?
No. He who fucks nuns will later join the church.
Death or Glory, mate. That's the punk rock anthem, isn't it?
Yes.
Death or
I don't
Glory.
mind that one.
Becomes
That's
just another
brilliant.
door.
Yeah, that's the one.
Crash the Crapenters is a living proof that doesn't necessarily have to be the case, because that song thematically talks about young people coming out all fire and brimstone, but then sort of settling into middle age and leaving all that behind. We actually started this band when we were all in our middle age, so we still believe. We're still believers.
Excellent. Okay, we've got 5 minutes before the bar shuts. So, is there anything you want to say?
I was just wondering about you where you live. Like you're in Bellambi. Are you in one of those houses like right there on the point there, like right where on the beach?
No, we're about 3 minutes from the beach.
That's just the best setup down there. It's so good like that. You've got the playground there and the point, and the Fishing Bay and stuff. And
it's excellent, man. It's good. Just kids go. I don't have to take them. They can just walk down themselves. Leave me alone, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, we're here, and Dave lives 2 minutes from Maroubra Beach. Riff and I are about 5 minutes from Maroubra Beach, and we always love getting down to places like Bellambi or Thurrool and blowing in and trying to get some uncrowded waves for a change.
Yeah. People down there, they hate it. So especially, well, not Bellambi's not so bad, but like around Thurrool and all that, and up the Cold Coast, they don't like the sand and point and stuff. They hate it.
Well, every weekend these blow-ins coming in and trying to take waves off them and that, I completely understand it here at Maroubra, because the thing at Maroubra Beach is it's the only beach in these eastern suburbs that has untimed parking. So we get blow-in from Bondi, the latte sippers, and coming from all over the eastern suburbs. And I know how these people feel when they're inundated with blow-ins. So
You get a surfing this morning, boys?
I did get away this morning, actually, and Dab did too, I think. So
it was all right.
Excellent.
It was all right. Mate, just with regards to music, just to tell people that everything that we've put out so far is available on all the streaming services. If anybody wants to give it a listen, because we're, as I said, we're all in our middle age. We sort of feel like we're making up for lost time when it comes to. So we're not sitting on anything. We're writing songs and recording them. And as I said, being lucky enough to record with my brother and him having his own studio, and between you and I, he doesn't mind if we stump up some recording fees and a bit lax in paying him from time to time.
Yep.
So we're always I discussed it with him yesterday. But just check us out on all of the streaming sites.
Definitely.
We've actually had a bit of a changing of the guard in our band, in that our drummer and our lead guitar player have left. So we've got a new drummer who's just come in, and it's going really, really well. And the next show we're playing is in February. It's at the Factory Theatre, and it's actually for the Still Love and Chopper Festival. It's like they shut down the street at the back of the Factory Theatre, and people bring Harleys and their choppers from all over Australia. It's
magic.
We're playing with bands like the Shit Tinnies and Australian Uber Alice, which is the Dead Kennedys covers band. It's going to be a great day. If you want to go and follow it, we've got the Instagram page and the Facebook page, and you can get your anyone who's watching can get their head around what we're doing and get behind us. We're DIY, so we're not beholden to any label, or just put out whatever we want when we want. And that's why the opportunity to be on shows like this and to be is really invaluable to us, Matthew. And what you're trying to do within the Sydney punk scene and the Australian punk scene, we really do appreciate it, because you're giving bands like us a forum to talk about our music and ourselves and mental health or whatever else. And we're really appreciative of what you're doing, Matthew.
Excellent. So you guys are going to be at this Factory Theatre on February, hey?
Factory Theatre, February the 5th, with about 50,000 other really, really great bands, and it's going to be hot. It'll be the middle of summer, and I'm really excited about this show going ahead, because it was a show that I think was originally planned for June 2020, and it's been put 4 or 5 times. And a mate of mine, Troy, who's putting it together, has had to postpone. And so I'm hoping that with it being in February and being in the middle of summer, it turns out being everything that he hopes that it's going to be. So
terrific. Nice meeting you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to make it at the Factory Theatre.
Unreal.
And hopefully we might be able to do a live interview, which would be good.
That'd be unreal. It'd be really good to meet you and have a beer together, Matthew. Looking forward to it already.
Definitely. I mean it from the bottom of my heart, guys. Thank you so much.
Matthew, thank you very much. Thank you, Matthew. All the best. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Jeff.
See you later. See you guys.
All the best.
Cause I'm heading out hungover. There's things I've got to do, but if I could, you know I would stay hanging out with you. Yes, if I could, you know I would keep hanging out with you. Laughing, walking, singing, talking, and all that we could do. Sharing some laughs over the past and finding out what's new. Yes, if I could, you know I would keep hanging out with you.